Hey, good afternoon. Russell of Hotels going live just for a couple of minutes. You guys know how I do it. It's that daily check-in that I do daily, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Just a kind of an offshoot of the On Air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show that everyone is talking about. Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, did you guys check out On Air with Russell of Hotels? That live hospitality talk show yesterday came on Tuesday. It comes on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Well, yesterday it came on and it was a great show, great topic. So if you did not get a chance to check it out, please do so. I talked about or discussed in great detail, like say if you're a director of sales and marketing for a hotel and you're looking for support from your general manager, okay? What are some of the things that you need to do? Because as we all would like to think that we always get 100% of the support from our general managers, that's not the case, okay? That is not 100% of the case, okay? It's never like that, okay? So unless you've been in that position, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I happen to get, and some people ask, like, how do you come up with some of these topics? Well, the topics come from conversations that are based on, and some of these conversations end up being part of, my experiences, right? Because everything that I do or talk about is based on my experience. So a couple of days ago, a former colleague of mine, called me and kind of explained some things that was going on in this particular hotel, and she didn't feel like she was getting support from her general manager, which sometimes happens. Okay, not 100% of the time that the GM is always on board in everything that you do, and not that I was saying that it must be all the GM. I had to ask, what is your role in all this too? You got to explain everything, right? I need to know everything before I can come up with some type of solution of what I think you should do or how I would handle this situation, right? So, you got to find out what both parties are doing. But I came up with, probably, a list of, I don't know, 7 to 8 items that I would do, in order to give them a chance, right? You got to give them a chance first, right? So these are things that I would do in order to, because you got to build your own credibility and all this kind of stuff. What are you doing? And let them know what you're doing, right? Let them know what you're working on, because you want them to buy off on all the stuff that you're doing. And then when you need support, they're more likely to give it to you. They should give it to you day one anyway, but that's not always the case, right? So just one of those interesting conversations that I had, and I just kind of parlayed it into a topic for yesterday. So if you have not checked it out, go to LinkedIn, YouTube, X, or Facebook, and it's on my page. So just check it out. As every show that I do, including this daily check-in, all those things are still there. You can go back and listen to them. You go back and watch them. That's the beauty. You don't just have to listen. You can see me and see what I'm saying and see how I'm dressed and all this kind of stuff, and see that I have my, my Russell of Hotels hat on and a Russell of Hotels shirt. Hey, who knew, right? But anyway, and today I really didn't have a topic because I've been busy with some stuff all morning, right? Not dealing with a client. That's kind of harsh. I've been dealing with a client all day. No, 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 no. Hasn't been one of those things. But we're planning some site inspections. I got, 6 hotels and 3 states that I'm setting up hotel site tours with my client, right? So I've been having to, follow up with the hotels, make sure, they have these dates available for these site tours and all that, making room arrangements. And later I got to make my, flight arrangements and all that. And that's coming up like on the 15th, right? So I don't have a lot of time to be screwing around with this stuff, right? So been dealing with that this morning, and that's not a bad thing. That's just something that's just part of doing hotel site selection, where I also plan the site tours as well based on my client's schedule. And hopefully the hotel buys off on it. If not, then we have to tweak some times and dates and all that kind of stuff. But for this particular thing, the schedule that my client needs it does coincide with the hotel's schedule as well. So we're all on board with that, right? So everything is good. I'll keep you posted on how these site tours go. I'm sure they'll be fine, but hey, you gotta do what you have to do sometimes. I did have something. Now, you guys know this year, I don't think, yeah, this year I haven't had any guests on air with Russell of Hotels. Well, that's going to change next week. I think last year, out of 52 shows that I did on air with Russell of Hotels, I think I did maybe 20 to 25 guests. I had 20 to 25 guests. So almost half of the shows I had a guest on. This year, as of right now, April 3rd, I haven't had any guests on at all. But that's going to change next week. So who do we have? Boom. Mr. Tre Wilke. He's at the Bahia and Catamaran resorts in San Diego. Who doesn't love San Diego? Who has never been to San Diego? Give me a show of hands out there. If you haven't been to San Diego as a destination, you're missing out, right? I think that's California's premier destination, okay? And to be able to represent two hotels in San Diego, I think that's crazy, right? But Tre is the person that he represents two hotels, the Bahia and the Catamaran Resort. They're about the same size. I think the Catamaran is 310 rooms. The Bahia Resort is 313. So can you get any closer than that in size? So, and they're both in this bay. They're both on Mission Bay, right? So this happens to be, I put San Diego Bay because I think that's, I don't know if the official name is San Diego Bay or Mission Bay. I don't know, but it's around here. Those hotels are around here, and they're across from each other. So we're going to have him come on, and we're going to have a conversation about how he got in the industry. I'm going to ask him that question that everybody wants to know. Excuse me. Everybody wants to know this question. Tre, did you choose hospitality or did hospitality choose you? We need to know. Inquiring minds want to know the answer to that question. How'd you get in this industry? Because we all know no two people got in this industry alike. So we're going to, get into it with, his journey to where he is now. And maybe, what are his goals, his aspirations in this hospitality, in this world of hospitality. So we're going to find out, right? But yeah, that's going to be next week, April 9th, 1 o'clock PST, live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on X. Okay. So whatever platform you happen to be on right now, stay tuned for next week's show. And we're going to have Tre on there, and we're going to, talk. We're going to have a little conversation, a little conversation. So, but anyway, so I just want you guys to know that. There was something else. Oh, the chat is open. If you guys want to make comments, I'm sorry, I didn't even mention that earlier, but feel free to make comments. The chat is always open, right? And I don't know why I'm getting kind of froggy right now. Hold on one second. I had to mute because I didn't. Oh my goodness, still got it. I'm a little froggy, but anyway, I think I'm a little better than that. I sound like I have a deep voice, but yeah. So that's gonna be next week. So make sure you guys tune in for that. That's gonna be a great conversation, and feel free to make comments. I think I said that already, but this is what it's all about. It's about engagement. It's about, I want to encourage people to engage because that's what it's all about, right? It's all about, you guys saying whatever you say, and I'll say it back, say something back. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Are you crazy? Whatever the heck it is. So, what else? There was something else that I wanted to, quick shout out. Okay. I don't think I mentioned this at all, but a quick shout out. Hold on one second. Somebody's texting me, and it's somebody that, why do these people want to text me when I'm doing something? I don't understand. But, okay. I'll look at that later. It's one of those things that I can look at later. I thought it was kind of an emergency, but it's not. But, I don't know if I mentioned this on the show, just a kind of a quick congratulations. And I wish I had this picture and I could cue it up real quick, but I guess I can't. So I can't do that. But let me just switch screens because I think that's it for that. What was I going to say? Oh, I just got the phone with Sam Thompson. You guys know Samuel Thompson? Samuel Thompson is now with the Greater Palm Springs CVB. He's specifically representing Indian Wells, which is a city in that Palm Springs area, that whole desert area right there. So just shout out to him and congratulate him on his new role there. I want to say he's in marketing for them. Excuse me again. Man, excuse me again on that. But yeah, he's in marketing for that, marketing and sales for Indian Wells. They have their own hotels over there, but it's part of the greater Palm Palm Springs CVB. So shout out to him. I just got off the phone talking to him. He was asking me, I don't know, to do something. I can't remember what it was, but he's gonna send me an email and we're gonna make it happen. But yeah, shout out to him. One of my favorite people, Samuel Thompson. So if you guys did not know that, make sure you guys send him a shout out. Say, hey, I heard that you're, new marketing guru at the Greater Palm Springs CVB, specifically Indian Wells. Okay, so, but hey, if you guys have any questions at all for me, I'm a resource within this world of hospitality. If that's hotel consulting, if that's content creating for hotels and CVBs, if that's a hotel site selection, which I do a ton of for various clients throughout the United States. Always planning meetings here and there. Like I mentioned when I first started, I just got on this live, is that I'm trying to, I'm working on doing some site tours for 6 hotels in 3 states. It's just part of what we do, part of what I do. So that should be exciting and, all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. The states you may ask, it's New Mexico, Arizona, and Colorado. So there you go. So looking forward to that in the next week or so, the next 2 weeks, I guess. Is that less than 2 weeks now? Yeah, I guess about 2 weeks. It's the 15th. 15th, I'm only doing the 15th through the 18th because I have small meetings and boutique meetings in Houston. I'm doing that. Did I tell you I'm doing that one? Yeah, I did it late. I signed up late, but it was still openings to go. So I'm doing that the 21st through the 23rd. So if you are going to Houston, the Margaritaville, the Margaritaville Hotel Resort and outside of Houston, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. So that should be interesting and fun as well. Other than that, I think that's it. Like I said, I did not have an agenda today other than what I was talking about earlier with check out On Air with Russell of Hotels, yesterday's episode. I thought it was kind of dope. I thought it was kind of fire. Everybody thinks that, hotel GMs and director of sales or some of the other directors all get along and they're all respected in their positions. Well, that is not always the case, right? So listen to, yesterday's show and you'll get a little insight on what I'm talking about and maybe how to remedy the situation. Is that the right word? Remedy? Yeah, maybe remedy the situation. At least this is a start, right? But communication, it has to be ongoing because you just don't know where everybody's not in a place of wanting to help people. And some people shouldn't be in their positions. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that out there. Some GMs don't need to be GMs. Okay, if you can't get along with people, if you can't understand people, then why would you even be in that position? And who put them in that position to be there, to be in that position from the start, right? I can say this because, like I said, I speak from experience, and a lot of this stuff, it comes from my experience, right? I've been a general manager. I've been a director of sales and marketing. Okay, we all know that. I've been to 14 different hotels. We all know that. Okay, I've told the story before, right? But sometimes some people, they're not as confident in their abilities or their positions, and they want to treat people, poorly. They don't want to support them because they don't want people to uncover some of the issues that they have or maybe some of the flaws that they have, right? And sometimes that does happen, right? But one thing that I always did being a director of sales or a general manager, I hired people that had a different skill set than I did. Okay. And sometimes they may have been smarter than me, but that's okay, right? See, that's the thing. People get caught up in their own head, in their own ego. It's okay to hire people that are smarter than you or that have a different skill set than you. Then that way they can learn from me. I can learn from them. That's okay. Ultimately I'm the GM. Okay. I have to make, these final decisions and all that kind of stuff, but it's okay to work with someone, work together on certain things because it's for the greater good of the hotel, right? I would think, right? So I always made it a point, hire people that have a different skill set. And if they happen to be smarter, then that's fine. And when people say, oh, if I've heard this before where, if I give them too much information, they're going to take my job. Okay. And I love people to say they want to take my job. That means I can move on to somewhere else quicker than I wanted to, right? No, that's fine. That's a good thing. Give people the tools in order for them to shine, in order for them to take that next step. Okay. There's many people that worked for me over my career that became VPs with major companies, major hotel companies, major management companies, corporate, whatever. And that's fine because that was their goal, right? My goal was not to do that. My goal was to be a director of sales and marketing. It was never to be a general manager, but that ended up happening, right? But my goal was not to be on the corporate level or that corporate, the stratosphere going up to corporate. That was not my goal, right? My goal was to be a director of sales and marketing at a 600 room property with 40,000 square feet of meeting space. That was kind of my goal, right? And when I got that, I was like, okay, well, I got that. Now what? Right. So, but no one knows what your goals are. Right. I'll give you one situation that happened to me as I was trying to ascend to that goal. Right. So this is real quick. Okay. This is real quick, but it kind of ticked me off. Right. So, okay. So I wanted to be, my goal, like I said, was to be a director of sales and marketing of a 600 room property, 40,000 square feet of meeting space. But along the way, I was getting positions as a director of sales and marketing at 220 room hotels, right? So that was the largest hotel I had ever been at, right? So I knew that I was not going to be able to make the leap from 220 rooms to 600. Because I didn't have that kind of bigger box experience, right? I didn't have like convention experience. I didn't have that. Well, within my same company, management company, we managed the Westin Bonaventure, right? Which is in LA County is the largest hotel out there. 1,300 rooms, 150,000 square feet of meeting space. Okay, boom. That's the largest, right? You can't get any bigger than that, right? So what I asked my regional director of sales, I said, hey, I want to make a lateral move from where I am currently to that particular hotel. And she's like, why would you do that? That's like, that hotel will chew you up. It will, chew you up and spit you out. I'm like, that's fine. I have bigger goals than just this 225 room hotel. Okay. I didn't need to tell her that. I just wanted the opportunity to do it. And she goes, are you sure? She asked me like 3 times. Are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you sure this is what you want to do? Russell, are you sure this is what you want to do? And I'm like, yes, that's what I want to do. This is my goal. This is what I want to do. I want to get that convention experience, major big box experience, right? So I did that. And then this guy calls me, right? I don't even know this guy. I met him one time, maybe like just an acquaintance, a minor acquaintance at that, right? This guy finds out that I'm going to the Bonaventure, right? And he calls, I don't talk to him, but he leaves a voicemail message for me. And he's like going off like, you're crazy. Why would you take that position at the Bonaventure? That's like, he said, career suicide. That place is effed up. It's crazy, this and that. Like I said, I don't know this guy from Adam for the most part. I can't remember what his name was. I just remember the situation. But I called him back. I don't why he left his message. I have no idea. Left his phone number. I have no idea. But he called me back. And do you know, he didn't answer, and it's probably a good thing he didn't answer. I must have cussed him out for about 5 minutes on a voicemail, okay? Because he doesn't know. First of all, he didn't know me. Second, he didn't know what my goals and aspirations are. And I didn't have to explain them. But I just went on and on and on, basically berating him because that's what he did to me, right? And I didn't need to do that, but it made me feel a little better, right? But this is the story. The story is people don't know what your goals are, right? Unless you tell them, right? And don't get caught up with people say about what you're trying to do, okay? Because your goals are different than theirs, okay? All they see is the surface. Like, okay, you had a job as a director of sales and marketing at this hotel, and you're leaving that job, and they look at it, you're leaving this cush job to go to a job that's more challenging. Yeah, it's more challenging, and it's going to get me to the next level, right? They didn't see it like that. They see it as you're going to get thrown in this pit, and you're never going to get out, and your career is over. That's how they looked at it, right? And I'm like, who thinks like that? So never think like that. Never, try to dim somebody's light, right? If this is their goal, these are their aspirations. And you don't even have to know the entire story, but if this is what they want to do and they carefully thought this out, that's fine. Then go ahead and do it. You have my blessing. Okay, go for it. Maybe I wouldn't have done it that way, but hey, if you want to do it for your career, that's fine. And so I did it. And guess what? My goal was to be there from 18 months to 24 months, get that experience and hopefully apply that, to another job, right? Well, within 13 months, I was offered a job at, guess what? A 600 room property, 40,000 square feet of meeting space, and it happened to be a property at LAX, which is the Hyatt at LAX. So, hello? And I never would have got it if I did not make that leap from that 225 room hotel to the Westin Bonaventure. Never would have got it, right? So that's the thing, right? Don't get caught up in other people's crap because they don't know you. They don't know what you want. They don't know what your aspirations are. So don't get caught up in people's stuff. Just know what you want to do, know what your goals are, and stick to those goals, right? Stick to the goals. You know what you want to do, right? And sometimes we know exactly the steps we need to take to get there because there's no blueprint for getting anywhere. It's good to have, you always got to have, advocates and people on your side. But there's no book, There's no playbook, play by play. Okay, do this and you'll get that. I took a leap of faith on there, right? But sometimes, how people say it's a cliche now, I bet on me. I did it and I bet on me, right? Well, that's what I did. I had to bet on me, right? So the heck with what other people saying, because there's a lot of noise out there, right? People trying to dictate what your career should be, right? I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks, deuces. So I just thought I'd share that story with you. Hopefully that resonated with somebody. I don't know why I got off on that story, but didn't it sound good? And it felt good to get that off my chest again. I've told the story before, but when that guy told me that, he said, I wish I could remember his name, but I can picture him, but I don't remember his name. And then later, I'm at the Bonaventure, and he leaves another voicemail message for me, and he apologizes for how he came on. Oh, I didn't know this and that, and I didn't respond to him. Because at that point, I didn't really need to respond the first time, but I can't let people get away with that one. You know what I mean? I I came out of a bag on this dude. I'm like, what the F are you talking about? Blah, blah, blink, beep, 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 beep. It would have been a series of beeps. Okay. But anyway, but that's it. Anyway, that is it. These daily check-ins, they don't have to be that long, but today I'm just on one, and it's a story that I had to tell, right? Because everyone has a different story. And there's some people that can resonate with the story that I told, right? Either the one, not getting support from your general manager, or, people kind of standing in the way or not, co-signing your, that you want to, do better or take another step. Because they don't understand you, or they don't know you, or they don't know what your goals are, and they don't need to know your goals, right? If they're going to help you, then okay. But if they're not going to help you attain your goals, then what the hell? They don't need to know all this stuff. But as long as you know in your head what you're trying to accomplish, and you know some of the steps you need to take, and nothing's guaranteed though, right? But at least they're your decision. The decisions that you make are your decisions, okay? And the hell with everyone else, right? Because like I said, everyone does not know and they don't need to know what your goals are. But you just stick to it and just make it happen because the buck begins and ends with you. There you go. So anyway, any questions at all, please feel free. My email's down right there on the ticker, russell@russellofhotels.com. If you want to give me a call, you can do that. You can go to my website, which is russellofhotels.com, just russellofhotels.com. That's my website, not email, website. And my phone number is there. So feel free to give me a call. I'm as accessible as anyone out there, right? So if you can't get a hold of me, that means you didn't try because I give you every information to get a hold of me. If you want to DM me, slide into my DMs, you can do that. If you can instant message me on whatever, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. In fact, I got an email today from someone that wants to be on my show, right? Wants to be a guest on Air with Russell of Hotels. I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. But that won't be probably until next month, May. But I asked her, how did you find me? Okay, because you always want to, know how people find you. Is it, through the postings that I do on LinkedIn or YouTube, Facebook, or whatever, right? Well, she said she Googled hospitality podcasts, top hospitality podcasts. She Googled it, and she said it came up with 25, and I was on the top of that. So I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool, right? So, and that comes from posting things on a regular basis, right? So just remember the stuff works, right? So if you're trying to get your brand out there, you have to post. You have to post things, and one that helps out a lot is X. A lot of people, I don't know if they poo-poo the idea of X. Yeah, that's the old Twitter, right? But Twitter or X, it automatically goes on Google. So if I was to Google on Air with Russell of Hotels, this right here would show up because I just posted it, right? I just posted it and it's going to X, right? So it would show up automatically. So if that's not a good branding tool, I don't know what else is, right? Because some of the other ones, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They're not as consistent. But from what I found, X always does that. So once I finish this, I can Google Russell of Hotels, and the last thing that I did, last posting, is going to be there. So hopefully, that means that Google, it gives that the right placement on Google, right? So that's good, right? That's a good thing, right? So she found me on that, not on LinkedIn, not on YouTube, not on Facebook. She Googled me, and that's how she found me. So there you go. So always ask people like, hey, how did you find me? How do we know each other? Well, I found you on social media. Which social media platform did you find me on? I found you on LinkedIn. Or, I just Googled and it popped up. So she didn't look for my name. She looked for hospitality podcast, and Russell of Hotels showed up. Boom! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like. So, but anyway, that's it. You guys have a great day. And I know I can be kind of wordy and rambling on and on and on, but sometimes it's good stuff, right? So hopefully this was good stuff for you. If not, guess what? Come back tomorrow and I'll have some other stuff for you. All right. So anyway, until tomorrow, thank you again for joining. Appreciate you. And as always, peace.